The tribunal judgment, or the ruling, I should say, an absolutely ridiculous state of affairs, and is such a sad one for the country because it kind of erodes all sort of public trust in judiciary. It's not really surprising what happened because a lot of people were expecting such a thing to happen, but it kind of confirmed our worst fears. I did go to the appeal court ground, for the tribunal, and I'm just going to give a rundown of what I witnessed, because upon reaching the appeal courts around 9:30, the area was cordoned off. But the first people I saw upon reaching there, it was a protest group. And this protest group was wearing black and red, with a lot of banners. I identified them as an Asari Dokubo group because they were holding up a banner of his picture, and a pro-Tinubu group because they were holding up banners of Tinubu as well, a whole lot of placards. I saw one like, "Thank you, President Tinubu." I don't know, like, for what. They were still allowed to protest, closer to the venue, without any interference from security officials. I was still there, kind of, looking forward to what will happen. And then even more security reinforcements came in. Like, I met only the police, but at around 10, I saw the army came in, the NSCDC came in. Like, there were so many. It looked like the Avengers was coming. That Avengers moment where, people just start to appear from everywhere. And I couldn't even, stay there because they cordoned the place off to an even farther distance. The whole place looked like a war zone. Looked like a war zone of just soldiers. So I left, and I even found out there that Peter Obi was not present. That was my first red flag. We had been preaching all eyes on the judiciary all this while. Inside the courtroom, they ensured that all those eyes were put to sleep, and it was such a boring reading. It was like he just came and read out a couple of judgments, pre-written, and they all just eroded any kind of faith that people might have had in judiciary. Like, if you had faith in judiciary like 20%, now it would be like minus 50%. That's how bad it was, because it seemed like every single charge against Tinubu or against the election was struck out, and with some of them had the most ridiculous of reasons. Now, the first case that they announced the ruling on was that of the Allied People's Movement. Basically, they struck that one out, and the reason they gave was so ridiculous. Like, they even agreed that it was a double nomination. It was a double nomination, but it wasn't a tertiary. So so it doesn't count, I guess. Like, how is that? And for that to be the first ruling, it already showed you what was coming. People's Gazette even went ahead to clarify on the decision for double nomination, and saying that it even contradicts a Supreme Court ruling from the past. Sarah Ibrahim, who of course I've cited a lot as she followed the case from the beginning, I felt so bad for her because she could not believe what she was seeing at the tribunal. I'm sure a lot of people in the tribunal premises, like the court itself, they didn't believe what was happening, because it was such a miscarriage of justice. Here she's saying that the polling units where rigging took place were not mentioned by the petitioners, which is Peter Obi and Labour Party. Petitioners did not present any sheet of forensic documents to show the states listed in a certain paragraphs on rigged polling units, and talking about the issues of non-compliance. And he's talking extremely fast, and his words are not making sense in this space. I think that's what she meant to say. They ruled out Tinubu's drug forfeiture, saying because he wasn't banned from entering the US. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, it's established that there was a forfeiture, but this kind of reason, it doesn't make sense even in a banana republic. Like, it's just like a joke. Like, they say, okay, wasted everybody's time, and they used the technicality to knock down the issue about Tinubu having a Guinean passport, because you are not supposed to, as president, like giving your allegiance to another country. Again, they are not denying that he even has a Guinean passport. They are just saying that he wasn't submitted properly as evidence, which I don't know how you can explain that. There was no sincerity of purpose in the rulings. Like it was just like they were defending Tinubu and Shettima. That's just how it was. Like they were just defending them. And these are the judges we're talking about. When it came to the case of 25% votes in FCT, the judges said it was irrelevant. They said FCT is just like any other state. It's just like any other state. And all these things are contradicting what's even being said in the Constitution, which there's not much to say about it. It's just like they made a mockery of everybody was trying to follow this case and made a mockery of the case itself. If you go to social media now, it's filled with lamentations, that's for sure. Everybody was lamenting. You can see Davido, like even Davido had to get involved. UC Maxwell, I think he was one of the first at the court grounds. I tried meeting him there, but he was inside. I think I was outside the premises. They striked out a lot of Peter Obi's witnesses. Some of these people were subpoenaed. They said the reasons they gave, they said the witnesses were personal to Peter Obi. Like, in fact, there's no point in like going deeply into some of these rulings, because they are all just like, you're just like, how do you even explain this kind of thing? There was no focus on the case at all. You were just like, we're just going to get Tinubu off. How best can we do it? Because every single ruling was for Tinubu. It's like the arguments were not even considered. Of course, Tinubu himself is not in the country. He left earlier with a lot of Nigerian top businessmen. He left to India. So it looks like an orchestrated thing. And it's very disheartening. It's just unfortunate. I'm not even as heartbroken as I was during the election, because this one, like I said before, it was either they do the right thing, set the country on the right path, or do the wrong thing and set the country on the wrong path, which they've gone on to do. And this sets precedence for a lot of things. Like, it basically says, what's the point of engaging in an election? Can you even trust the judiciary if you have an issue? Like, it just shows that, okay, these people can be compromised. Like, the international community seeing this, they must be surprised, they must be shocked, especially fellow African countries. This will be it's so funny. I can imagine how they are taking this. Justice Samani ruled that FCT is part of the 36 states envisaged by Section 134(2) of the Constitution, and the failure to score 25% is relevant. Issues 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all resolved in favor of the respondents, which is Tinubu. Constitution has been sold to the highest bidder. Like, a lot of these things are. It's so blatant. It's really blatant. I think that's just what I say. It's a blatant miscarriage of justice. Like, we're elevating Tinubu to the status of emperor. That's what it means. And this does not bode well for the future. Justice Ugo has just stricken out all the arguments of Atiku and PDP in relation to his qualification of Tinubu. Yeah. Let the world know what Justice Amani did today at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal is worse than any military coup. So, like I said, I don't think there's any point like going into it too deep. It was just a total miscarriage of justice. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. Like, let me know in the comments. What do you guys think of this ruling? How do we like move forward as a country? And what do you think this means going forward? Because such a ruling, yeah, basically saying some people are above the law. Some people, I hear some people saying 4 years, 8 years, but you've eroded even confidence in the election that, okay, what if Tinubu says tomorrow that after 8 years, I still want to continue? Like, what? Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully.